I'm JT, and welcome to the KickAround. This week, we've got an exciting game of the weekend, Liverpool versus Arsenal. We got news about a couple of managerial jobs, and we also got Champions League preview. Start out with, we go Liverpool-Arsenal. 3-1 win to the Merseyside club, with Arsenal having a very poorly chosen 11. Alexis Sanchez was surprisingly dropped in favor of Olivier Giroud, and Danny Welbeck started out on the left, with Alex Iwobi moving into the number 10 position. This was quite surprising, even though we already knew that the number 10 position would have to be changed after Mesut Ozil was out with an injury. And Iwobi was one of the two candidates that probably would have gotten the job, but I still probably would have preferred to go with Lucas Perez, who's been in fantastic forms in the Cups, but it seems that Arsene Wenger just doesn't like him. And his love affair with Alex Iwobi continues, as Alex Iwobi is probably the longest starting attacking player that we've had. This is a bit weird, even because Alex Iwobi is still a teenager. Why is he starting over, say, Alexis Sanchez, one of the 5 best Premier League players? But instead, we go with Olivier Giroud for a more direct style of play. This is more of a crossing approach that allows Danny Welbeck and Olivier Giroud to try and dominate Liverpool's defense. It didn't work, safe to say. In the first half, Liverpool were much more aggressive and much more dangerous, whereas Arsenal, even when they had possession, just didn't look threatening. Olivier Giroud and the crosses that came in, he just couldn't do anything with them. He isn't a very good striker. He's a very great change of pace option in the 70th minute to allow teams that are tired legs to be taken advantage of with crosses that Olivier Giroud, poorly marked, will be able to swing home. But outside of that, he shouldn't be a starting option at a top 6 club. Alexis Sanchez was sorely missed, and Liverpool took advantage of the fact that Arsenal's backline had no answer for Sadio Mane, Philippe Coutinho, and Roberto Firmino, with Roberto Firmino snagging an early goal in the first 20 minutes, again, as Liverpool's dominance of the top 6, especially early on in the games, continues. Sadio Mane also managed to grab a late goal in the first half, around the 40th minute mark, with Nacho Monreal dragged in by an early run into the box, leaving Sadio Mane with acres of space to slot one home. At halftime, Alexis Sanchez did come on for Francis Coquelin, which moved Oxlade-Chamberlain back and forced him out on the wing. Sanchez has been great up top. I have no idea why Arsene Wenger wouldn't just bring him on for Giroud, but his insistence of playing that crossing style just didn't help. But it was Alexis Sanchez who set up Danny Welbeck on an amazing through ball to manage to get us through. That kind of free-flowing play is what Arsenal has been known for under Wenger. And I have no idea why he would opt for Olivier Giroud, who was basically useless, over Alexis Sanchez. Continuing on, the game looks a bit more even in the second half, and Arsenal almost seemed ready to strike in the 90th minute before Liverpool managed to snag the ball and race away on another one of their counterattacks. This led to being set up one-on-one and finishing the game off 3-1 to Liverpool. And Arsenal, without Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil, just isn't threatening. They may still be a top 6 club, but barely. Ozil and Sanchez are the club, and if they don't sign new deals, Arsenal will be in trouble. Moving on, we got a couple managerial jobs that are available now. Luis Enrique has said that he'll step down as Barcelona boss after the season. This isn't surprising, as he's been a bit threatened over the past couple of weeks and has been on a really hot seat, and he managed to keep his job for the rest of the season by saying that he'll step down. The 3 options that I see as available for this job are Jorge Sampaoli, who is the La Liga man, and even though he hasn't won very much there, he still knows the league and knows how to win. Second option, I think, is Mauricio Pochettino, the Spurs manager. He's a good fit, as he likes using young players, and that pressing attacking style, I feel, would fit Barcelona very well. But I can't see it happening, as Mauricio Pochettino has gone out time and time again saying he will not take Barcelona job due to his loyalties to crosstown rivals Espanyol. The third option, and at the time it seemed a bit surprising to me, was Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger is not a top quality manager anymore, and he'll be probably ousted from Arsenal after the season. But the Barcelona job actually makes a whole lot of sense for him. he has loved La Masia players, with players such as Hector Bellerin and Cesc Fabregas being utilized in his first 11s over the time of his managerial career as Arsenal. And also, Barcelona may out to be in a lot of financial trouble with the Camp Nou renovations. Arsene Wenger has experience with this, with the Emirates having cost him much of his prime of his managerial career in some people's beliefs. He managed to weather through it, and I think that he'd be the perfect man to lead Barcelona through this monetary crisis as well. I personally, if I was a Barcelona fan, would still prefer Jorge Sampaoli, so that they have a chance at winning silverware, but Arsene Wenger will be able to steer them clear through this time of crisis, break in young players effectively, and set them up for the next generation, even if they only win a couple of cups while he's there. Moving on, Claudio Ranieri was sacked as Leicester manager after a poor run of form this season. This is not too far off what we were expecting, as Leicester were always expected to drop off and after the title winning form. But to be sacked after winning a title with a relegation thought team, that's a bit surprising. But if you look at the past couple of seasons, it's what to be expected. Jose Mourinho was sacked the year after he won the title with Chelsea, and Manuel Pellegrini was forced out of the club after Pep Guardiola came available. It only makes sense that another manager would be taken advantage of. The impatience of teams in the Premier League has been shown as after Arsene Wenger with 20 years, Eddie Howe, a relatively young manager, is the next longest serving manager at his club with 4 years. In fact, in the whole entire football leagues, the next longest serving manager, and the only one with 10 years outside of Arsene Wenger, is Paul Tisdale of Exeter City in League 2. This just shows that the longevity, consistency of managers like Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson is gone and never will be replaced. Those two legends of the game that rivaled in the Premier League for 20 years are gone, and that kind of age of managers, it will never come back again. Moving on, we got Champions League preview. We got 4 really exciting games this week with Real Madrid Napoli, Bayern Munich Arsenal, Benfica Dortmund, and PSG versus Barcelona. First game we got Real Madrid Napoli. Real Madrid 3-1 lead heading to the second leg at Napoli. I see Napoli getting a couple goals, but I think Madrid's too much. I think Madrid wins the second leg 3-2, and we see Napoli lose the legs 3-6 on aggregate. Moving on, we got Arsenal versus Munich. 5-1 drumming from Munich to Arsenal in the first leg. I could see that kind of level of force happen, but I think Arsenal goes to attacking early on without Mesut Ozil. I don't think they can come back. I say 3-0 win for Munich at the Emirates. 8-1 aggregate win for Munich overall. Then we got Benfica versus Dortmund. Benfica managed to snag a win in the first leg in a relative upset, 1-0. I don't think that's going to hold, though, in the second leg. I think Dortmund are come out fast and furious, even without their superstar, Marco Reus. I still think they won 4-1 in the second leg, make it 4-2 on aggregate, and move on. And then we've got the big game, the one everybody's going to be watching. Can Barcelona and their boss, currently, Luis Enrique, come back from a 4-0 defeat at PSG and see if they can make it through the next round? For me, the answer is no. I think Barcelona managed to get 3 goals, but don't get the 4 that they needed. I think PSG managed to get a goal as well, make it near impossible. So I think it's going to be a 5-3 aggregate win for PSG. And I just don't think Barcelona have enough in the tank this season to move on to the Champions League. But that allows them to move and focus on the league, which they really need to, if they really want to catch Real Madrid, considering Real Madrid have kind of run away with it. So that's it for this week's Kick Around. Hope you join us next week.
It's not over. Nah, it's not over. Tell your grandma, tell your moms, it's not